if you guys have been following what's been going on over here on this side of the computer, if you haven't, I forgive you. If you don't know me, my name's Dr. Jody Dinnerman. I'm the founder and creator of All Things Staffless Practice. I've been in practice for 25 years. I love being a chiropractor. I hate the admin. I hate it. I just want to show up and serve great care. And I want to go home and I don't want to manage people and I don't want to go to seminars and coaching sessions and to learn how to run a team. I don't want to do any of that. I just want to show up and serve great care. That's my goal in my practice. And that's what I do. But it wasn't always that easy. And my problem was that I had this vision of what I wanted for my practice. It was very clear. I wanted it to be busy. I wanted to be a central hub for the people who I serve in my community. I wanted to show up, serve great care, and go home with the last person of the day. Like I wanted to walk out with them. I didn't want to have team meetings and management books and all of the stuff. I didn't, and I thought I had to do that. So I did that for decades. And I sucked at it. And when I gave myself permission to let go of that piece, I still wanted my practice to be the central hub. And I didn't know how to do that without a team. So I got really good at it. I learned how to do it. And I really started to love my practice so much more than I could have imagined. And then the pandemic hit. And all of my friends who had watched the journey of me learning how to run a practice without staff started asking questions. What's the thing you do with this? How do you do the thing with a phone? What do you do with texting? What if someone's standing in front of you and they're asking you about this, and then this guy is doing this? And how do you do all of this? And I wrote a book. And then I wrote another one. And then I wrote another one. And then the birth of the Staffless Practice Academy happened. And one of the things that kept coming up over and over while we were working with literally thousands of wellness practitioners all over the world is, how do you care for a practice member from the time they learn about, before they even learn about you? How do you care from them from when they're recognizing their problem to when they recognize that you are the person that can offer a solution to that problem, to when they come into your office, whether it's virtual or a physical office, to when they say yes to care, to if they leave the practice? How do you take care of the admin burden, the creative burden, the automation? Where do you not automate to not drop the personal experience? How do you do all of that without having to hire? Or if you have a team, how do you then say to your team, here you go, this is how to do the thing? So I'm going to put this in reference to my world. I have to record this. Hold on one second. So as a pediatric and prenatal chiropractor, I've got moms who are before, during, and after baby. That's my person, right? And their problem is that they want more for their family, but they don't quite know what it is, and they don't quite know how to get there. They know that there's something, though. That's their problem. The solution, part of the solution, is care in my office. So how do I find them while they're recognizing what their problem is? And if you guys are in my world, this is zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. Zone 2 is, oh man, maybe there's a better way. Zone 3 is, I never knew it could be this good. Zone 1 is the you know what has hit the fan, and like everything's on pause because things are just out of control. So most of the people who find me are in about zone 2. They know there's a better way of doing things. They're looking for something. They're reading the books on holistic parenting. They have an appointment with this crunchy practitioner and this holistic school and this home school tutor, whatever it is. That's my person. How do I find them on social media? Or not even social media, it doesn't need to be. How do I find them out in my community? How do I nurture them? How do I very beautifully and streamlined show them how to show them, hi, here's my door. I'm going to open it for you. In fact, I'm going to give you a cold seltzer as you walk in. And how do I get them to stay, pay, and refer, as my friend Ross Rosen says, for years? All of that happens through a funnel. So we hear a lot these days about funnels and landing pages, and I'm gonna take out the fanciness of all of that for you this evening. That's my hope. And we're gonna spend like the next 20 minutes together. My hope for you is that this is enticing and you want to learn more. And if you want to learn more, I'm going to show you how you can book some private time with me, totally for free. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my page. And the first thing we're going to go into is we're going to look at this FigJam board. FigJam is at figma.com. It's a really cool program to brainstorm. It's like mapping, right? So let's start with these blue boxes. And I'm just going to bring this in a little bit. Hold on. I have a lot of windows open, you guys, so be patient with me. Okay, there we go. This is what our marketing plan with Staffless Practice looks like. So it looks like, wait, I just lost you guys. Hold on a second. Hi, there you are. Okay, I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. Okay. It looks like 4 quadrants of a healthy marketing plan. And this will all come together. Just hang with me for a minute. There's inside habits, the things that you do habitually in your office. If you run a virtual practice, the things you do at your desk to keep your practice moving forward. That's inside habits. Outside habits are the things that you do outside of your office on a regular basis to keep the practice moving forward. Inside celebrations, these are the events that you offer or participate in inside the office. Outside celebrations, the events that you participate in or offer outside of the practice. If you are new in practice, most of your focus on building a practice is going to be on the outside things. If you've been around for a minute, like myself, 25 years in, most of your stuff is going to be inside, because my practice at this point isn't necessarily about attracting new practice members. It's more about nurturing the ones that I have. Okay, so this is the marketing plan. And if you guys look to the right over my right shoulder, the Joyfield Practice plan is all of our inside and outside celebrations and habits that I've done in the past quarter of a century. And the playbook is like a week by week, month by month play of how to organize all of it. Okay, so let's go back to our funnel process. So let's say that you've got your plan in place. And all of these things are going to need communication pathways. You're going to need to make it so that whatever habits and celebrations you're offering to your community, you have a solution for emailing them, calling them, maybe offering them a course, a free course, a paid for course, whatever, texting them, connecting with them on social media, and of course, scheduling them. All of these things are the partner to all of these things. Does that make sense? So you need a solution for all of these things, the green buttons. So I'm going to now go into a relatively complicated look of how this all comes together. Let me just shrink this down and bring this here. Okay. All right. So this is what we call a funnel. The funnel is, how do I take my plan for inside habits and from the beginning, get my practice members to get all of the things and to make sure they're good. All of the steps of that are the funnel for inside habits. So the first step of the funnel is to attract potential practice members, let's say with a wellness guide. Let's say you put a guide out there and you email or text the doctors in your area and say, I just created a guide for holistic nutrition for new families. Can you share it with your community? So the guide is out there. The guide needs to get to the people. right? So you're going to capture emails and phone numbers for them to download the guide, right? The guide's out there. You put your word out on the street. Hey, we have a guide. Then you need to collect the email and phone number for the guide. Then you're going to start a funnel. When you have the need to collect an email and a phone number, that's the beginning of the funnel. So the first step, or what we call the trigger of the funnel, will be what? To collect the name and the email and the phone number, and then to send that person the guide for raising families naturally. Here are the steps for the funnel. Again, you're going to collect the thing. You're going to start the automation, which is what we call a workflow. You're going to probably want to tag that person. This is somebody who got the funnel. And then you're going to want to send them a text in a couple of days and say, hey, Sally, how'd the funnel go for you? Did you learn anything new? You might even want to send them an email. You can do anything at any time within your funnel. You just need to know what to do. And then you might want to wait a couple days and check in with another email. This would be an example of a guide funnel, okay? So what a lot of our practitioners are doing right now is they'll send, some people are even still doing paper newsletters, which I think is kind of quaint. I kind of like it. They might email one person at a time, the newsletter. They might be using non-HIPAA compliant ways of reaching their practice members or potential practice members with all of these steps, texting, emailing, all of the things. Please be mindful about that. They might be putting stuff out there that doesn't have their brand on it, that's not continuous with the messaging that they want to give. These are the ways that we see all of this come tumbling down. And really, quite frankly, just not working and wasting time, energy, and money. So in Staffless Practice, we're always talking about the protection of time, energy, money. How do you protect the time, energy, money of you, of your family, and of your practice members before, during, and after first visit? So I'm going to show you around what is now known as the Practice Suite. The Practice Suite is one place for texting, email, funnels, phone calls, voicemails, social media posting, social media commenting, social media planning, messaging from Facebook, messaging from Instagram, messaging from TikTok, messaging from LinkedIn, whatever you want. Campaigns, courses, collecting money, it's all there in the Practice Suite. So remember, I'm going to go back to sharing. We were just talking about this funnel, right? I'm going to show you how this funnel comes to life. So the first thing that I want to show you is, I want to go to the right window for you guys. So we're going to go here. We're going to go to our green Practice Suite. Just give me a minute, you guys. I want to go to the right screen because this is all really cool when it comes together. Okay, that's fine. So let's say that I'm actually going to go into the Staffless Practice Suite. Okay. Let's say that we want to create an automation. Let's go to automation. And let's say that I'm going to create a new workflow. So you're looking at a Practice Suite. First of all, you've got conversations, calendars, contacts, step boards, which are like Trello meets automation, meets texting, meets email, meets all of it, right? This is like how you stay in control of your automation. Payments, outreach is social media, it's emails, it's websites, it's you name it, it's in there. It also has like, there's so much in here, you guys. I just want to go back, hold on, outreach. Let's go back to, I want to go to automation. So let's say that you have, I'm going to name it first, example. Let's say that you want to create an automation and the trigger is somebody gets the tag and the tag is lead. then you can tell your practice suite, then I want you to send a text. And I want the text to say whatever you want the text to say. I want the text to include my contact's first name, save action. And then I want to send an internal message to my office manager. I'm going to send an SMS to my office manager. I'm going to choose, I'll just say all users, and this is the SMS I want to send. And then I want to send an email, and I'm going to send an email. I might even want to use an email template that I already have made. So I might go into templates, and these are all the templates that I have in the practice suite for staffless practice. Let's say that I want to use the template waited in Zoom. Hey, I waited in the Zoom for you. Why didn't you show up? Right there's my template. So this is what we call a workflow. And then I would publish it and I would save it. And the idea is that all of the things that we talked about are on the Jamboard. These are all personalized. They're all branded with your colors, your fonts, your all of it. They are thought out quietly and not in a reactive way. This is all planned when you're sitting at your desk when doing what we call diamond time. This is when you have quiet time and you're saying to yourself, before somebody gets my family wellness guide, what do I want them to see? What do I want them to hear? How do I want to nurture them before they even come into my office? True story, the other day I went to the dentist, and I have a huge phobia of going to dentists. And my dentist of 35 years retired, which doesn't help. So I went to see his daughter for the first time. And before I had the appointment, they called me and said, "Hey, Jody, are you good? Are you coming? Do you have any questions for the doctor? Do you want us to connect you with her? Or is everything good? Are you all set?" That was a phone call. The next thing that happened is when I walked in, they offered me a glass of cold water. They received me well. They said, "Please sit." I sat for 2 minutes. I went upstairs. They got me comfortable. They gave me a blanket. They did all of the things. And then I left. I paid my bill. I left. 5 minutes later, I swear to you, there was a text on my phone that said, "Please tell us about your experience today." And it was a review. And I was able to say 5 stars. It was a great experience. The next day, the doctor called me and said, "Hey, I'm just checking in on you to make sure you're good." I would say probably 40% of that was automated and 60% of it was not. 60% of it was the human touch. They learned through trial and error what part of this process needs to be the human touch and what part of the process can in fact be automation. I'm sure the request for a review is automation. So this is a funnel, right? And their funnel, my funnel for a new practice member, I'll even show you guys. So let's go back to, I'm going to show you the LightSource Chiropractic Suite, but I don't want to show you my patient names. So actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go to step boards here. Okay, let me share my screen. So hold on. It's tricky because I don't want to show you patient names real time, but I want to show you what I know that you want to see. So let's go here. Just give me a minute. Step boards. All right. I've learned to be very patient with this process. Okay, here I go into sharing with you again. So you're going to be looking at the purple practice suite. And these are all fake people. That's what I wanted to find a practice suite with names so you can see how this works. Let's say that the funnel that I'm working with now is recalls. Let's do a new practice member journey. Let's say before visit 1, Jane Smith, the thing that triggered this when I went and made the workflow, Jane Smith requested an appointment. I told my suite to then put her card here. When she comes to see me, I'm going to take this card here and I'm going to move it to after visit 1. And all of these things that I already planned for Jane Smith after her visit 1 are going to happen. She's going to get an email. She's going to get a text, all of the things. And then once she says yes to care, that might be the same thing for you. It might be before visit 1, saying yes to care. Or it might be before visit 1, after visit 1, before visit 2, after visit 2, saying yes to care, or decided not to move forward with care. Whatever your funnel looks like your funnel, okay? Let's say I move her to active practice member, then a whole series of events will happen once she's in active practice member status. The hardest thing about this is figuring out, what do you want to say to your new practice members before, during, and after they're experiencing your practice as a new practice member? What do you want to say to them? What do you want them to hear, see, feel? Maybe even smell, if that's your thing. Like you might be an essential oils person. You might want to send them a sample of something. I don't know. Everybody's different. So when it comes to funnels, you're going to want solutions for, these are the general rule of thumb for our wellness practitioners. Somebody who has not become a practice member yet, how do you nurture your leads? That's a funnel. It might look like you move them from, they joined your Facebook group where you educate people about the importance of proper nutrition for gut health, right? And you do all of this work in your Facebook group to nurture them and teach them different pieces about proper nutrition through gut health. And then when they go to your offer, whether it's a lead magnet is like what magnets them to creating an experience with you, whether it's in person or virtual. How do you get them to go from the group or watching to engaging? Once they've engaged, there's probably another funnel. And that funnel is then a new practice member funnel. And it might be like, send them a text before day 1, send them an email before day 1, call them after day 1, send them a text before day 2, email them before day 2, call them after day 2, and then change their tag once they say yes to care and put them on a whole email campaign, which is another funnel. Do you get it? You might have 5 different offers for your practice members. My rule of thumb is be really good at one thing, like know what problem you solve. If I have a conversation with you and I say, hey, Ron, what's the problem you solve in your practice? I might say to you, families are disconnected from innate and experiencing true wellness true wellness. That's the problem that they have. So that's the solution that I'm providing for them. What's the problem you serve? What's the problem you help with? And then what are all of the ways that you help with them? How do you reach them before, during, and after them being a new client? Okay. So questions that usually come up. I think the most important thing about this is to remember to stay connected to the automation that you have. I think what happens, I know that what happens most in my world, the mistake that happens most in my world is we'll forget about an automation and then we'll set up another automation to take care of that automation. And then we have 2 automations doing the same thing. And we'll have community members saying, why am I getting the same email 3 times? That's the worst part about automation. The best part about automation is how you can protect yourself time, energy, money. You can protect your practice members' time, energy, money. Let me show you a little bit more about that. So let's go into texting for a minute because this is a big deal. If I wanted to send my practice a text right now, I would go into contacts. I would filter my contacts by tag, and tag is, let me call them, let's say I want to send a message to all of my new practice members, and I would apply this. Okay, here are all of my new practice members. My practice is cranking. And if I want to send them all a text, that I select all 334 records, I send a text right here. And I might send a text with a template that I already have in my suite. So it might be, this might be my template, or I might send a text that just says whatever. right? It looks like it's just going to that one person, but it's going to 324 contacts. It's going to them in a HIPAA compliant way. It's going to 1 to 324 and back to 1, but it just looks like it's going to them. The coolest thing about this is I'm not going to send the text out, but if I did, then I could go into Jody Dinnerman's contact, that's me, and I could look at the history of what texts I sent her. I could even call her from right here. So I was sharing in the last training that I did that I canceled my phone last week and I'm going to be saving over $3,000 a year because my practice suite has a phone in it. I no longer need to have a phone for my practice. It's all right here. If somebody calls my line for my practice suite, they can leave a message right here and it will show up within conversations. It's all right here. Say it again. Oh, I think Ted's talking to somebody else. Ted, stop talking. We can all hear you. Okay. What else did I want to show? I think these are the general things. I do have actually one more thing to show you. Hold on a second. I'm going to go back into my Zoom. So just to recap, a funnel it's all of the pieces that you set into place for your practice members, depending on what journey they're in their trajectory in your practice. It might be before they become, while they're establishing trust with you. It might be once they become a practice member. It might be once they decided to leave your practice. There can be a funnel for each part of the process. When I first learned this program, it took me about 30 hours to learn how to use it for my practice. And I thought to myself, this would be really cool to share with my community, with chiropractors, with PTs, with OTs. So what we did is we created a learning center. And the learning center has the courses that I would have paid. I would have given my last chocolate bar to access these courses maybe 6 months ago, right? So one of the courses that we have in here is called the Learning Center. I'm just going to show you what it looks like. And we have courses on every single aspect of learning how to use a suite on your own, or we can build it for you. So this is the Learning Center. Okay. We also have a Smarty account or a dummy account so that you can go and practice and learn all of the ways to use your suite. And then we also have a bundles and bonuses kit that comes along with the practice suite that has courses from Staffless Practice Academy on the voicemail, on time balance, on AI for the growth and support of the wellness practice, on your tools for success, and on technology. We also have courses on creating more success for your suite. What are the bundles that you can use? Then we have courses on creating a brand, social media solutions, funnels, which is what I just went through, practice recall program, a video sales letter for practice growth, weekly wellness text thread. It goes on and on and on, because I kept saying to myself, what would I wish that somebody put in front of me while I was getting to know the practice suite, which really has changed the way that that the practice is run now. And it's pretty next level, you guys. This is the Blue Suite. And just more examples of what, each window looks like. So if you want to have a private tour of the practice suite and discuss, we have done totally by you, where we can just give you the program and show you what to do. We have done with you, where we coach you through and do the heavy lifting for you. Or if you want to be totally left alone and you want us to just you want to go to sleep and we'll wake you up when it's over, we have a done totally for you program as well. The way that you start with us is you start with either a private tour of the suite, or If you know that you want to do a done by you program, you just go to gostaffless.com/suite and you can get it in the next 10 minutes. So that's the practice suite, and that's how the funnels work. I promise you, in a year from now, in 5 years from now, in 10 years from now, if you set up automation where it should be and keep automation away from where it shouldn't be, if you set the stage for your practice now, you will be so grateful that you did. If you can create a foundation for your practice of mindful automation where it's necessary and the human experience where it's not necessary, if you can find that balance, and it's an art form, 100% an art form, then you're going to keep yourself moving forward in practice. You're going to be protecting your time, you're going to be protecting your energy, and you're going to be protecting your money. If you guys have any questions for me, please reach out to me. I wanted to at least put the suite in front of you and show you what funnels look like, where they fit into the picture. I'm going to stop streaming now. If you're in my Zoom, stay with me.